You can spend hours in the workshop carefully measuring everything, meticulously cutting, and yet, in the end, the pieces simply don't fit. And the strangest thing, you followed the plan, step by step. So why did it go wrong? Here's the truth that few people talk about: many woodworking projects start wrong even before the first cut. If you've ever felt that frustration of looking at two pieces that should fit perfectly, but don't, of thinking, I did everything right, so why is it wrong? It gets to you. Because it seems like the problem is a lack of skill. It seems like you still haven't got there. But let me tell you something important: this isn't a lack of talent. Most of the time, it's a lack of direction. A good plan should eliminate doubts, but many do the exact opposite. They seem clear until the moment you need to make a real decision. And then you realize that the plan isn't guiding you. It's letting you guess. And in woodworking, guessing is expensive. Let's break this down into simple parts. Because these errors aren't random, they follow patterns. And when you learn to identify these patterns, everything changes. The invisible error of overall measurements. Many plans start with overall dimensions 80 cm wide, 40 cm deep. But this doesn't tell you how each piece contributes to that result. And then something classic happens. You cut the pieces based on these measurements, but you forget to consider the thickness of the wood. Result: when you assemble, everything goes out of alignment. This isn't a big mistake. It's a silent mistake. And that's precisely why it catches so many people. Cutting everything before understanding the process. There's a feeling of productivity when you cut all the pieces at once. It seems efficient. But in practice, this can destroy your project, because some measurements only make sense after partial assembly. For example, a joint, a drawer, an opening, all of this depends on fine adjustments. If you cut everything beforehand, you lose the chance to fix it along the way. And then you only have one option left: redo. 3. Lack of a reference point. This is one of the most dangerous mistakes because it doesn't look like a mistake. The plan may have all the correct measurements, but if it doesn't tell you where to measure from, you can get everything right and still be wrong. Imagine two people measuring the same piece. One starts from the left, the other from the center. Both are correct, but the final result will be different. In woodworking, this translates to misaligned holes, crooked joints, pieces that don't fit together. A good plan always defines a reference point. Without this, you're a building in the dark. For the myth of perfect measurements, another detail that trips up many people: real wood doesn't have perfect measurements. A 1x4 isn't exactly 1x4. And when the plan ignores this, you enter a domino effect of small errors. Each joint is slightly off, each joint requires adjustment. And in the end, the project loses precision. 5. Vague instructions that don't help. Some plans say things like fix the pieces, align correctly, assemble the structure. But that's not instruction. That's assumption. For those who already have experience, that's fine. But for those who are learning, this generates insecurity. And insecurity slows everything down. You measure more, you doubt more, and you freeze more. 6. Tools that appear out of nowhere. You start a simple project and out of nowhere a step appears that requires a specific tool, and the plan doesn't explain any alternatives. That's the moment the project stops, and the enthusiasm fades. A good plan isn't one that uses advanced tools, it's one that considers who you're going to use. Lack of a clear materials list. This is a classic. You're going to buy wood, you buy too much or you buy the wrong thing. When it's time to assemble, you're missing pieces, you have leftover material, and nothing fits perfectly. This shouldn't happen. A well-made plan saves time, but you also save money. Here's the turning point: the problem isn't the cutting, it's the decisions that came before it. Carpentry doesn't begin when you turn on the saw. It begins when you understand the plan. What if the plan doesn't give you all the decisions? You'll have to improvise along the way. And that's exactly where everything starts to go wrong. So the next time you start a project, don't start by cutting. Start by analyzing. Ask, do I know exactly all the pieces? Do I understand the correct order? Do I know how each piece will fit together? If these answers aren't clear, the problem isn't you. It's the plan. In the description of this video, I've included some material that can help you avoid this type of mistake. It's designed to bring more clarity, organization, and security to the construction process, especially if you want to stop guessing and start executing with confidence. It's worth checking out carefully. And if this video helped you in any way, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who is also going through this. Because when you have the right plan, carpentry stops being frustrating and starts being exactly what it should be: satisfying.